yeah, and then I just put it in my mouth, and then, I just jerk it off, and then, we're done. And it's like, oogie.
This is Black Girl Thought TV, honey.
Hi guys, welcome back to Black Girl Thought TV. I am Annie Kens, and this is your inclusive source of health, wealth, and loving yourself. Not loving you. That's nice, love me. Okay, so I'm so excited about today's video. Today, we are shifting from the feminist Hoe series into the Hoe Tip series. So it's kind of the same thing, but now we're shifting to the Hoe Tip series. I am going to give you guys tips and tricks and things to just help you out as you're dating. You can call me your fairy hoe godmother because that's what I am, okay? And I just want to help you guys kind of live a good, really sexually free, liberated life of loving yourself and kind of really sexually exploring and exploring freely in a healthy manner that really leaves you feeling kind of satisfied. So today we're talking about sexting, and I'm going to give you a method that I use when I sex. And yeah, so a few things before we just kind of like dive into it. I've actually written a dialogue out, and I'm going to kind of share the dialogue and then kind of explain bit by bit, and by the end I'm going to actually kind of like just dish it out, and so you guys can kind of see how it will flow. But first, a few points. The main thing that comes up with sexting is what people do is they just kind of, there's no finesse to it. I'm a writer, I'm an artist, I'm a creator. So that means that everything I do kind of comes from this place of, like, from my imagination. I see it in my head and I kind of put it on paper, I put it on screen. Like, that's kind of how I am. So I'm hoping I can kind of share some of the things that I do to help you guys in that way, because I've seen sexting like, yeah, and then I just put it in my mouth, and then, I just jerk it off, and then, we're done. And it's like, oogie. Like, it's not very fun, and it's not, yeah, like, no. I'm a writer, so it's a bit different for me because it's very easy for me to kind of put things on paper and kind of really be descriptive as possible and detailed. And for some people that doesn't come easy, so I'm going to help you guys out. But you don't want to sext and leave someone underwhelmed. You also don't want to sext and then they're underwhelmed when they actually have intercourse with you, because that's something that happens all the time. People kind of use sexting to brag. You don't want to brag in your sext. And what that looks like is, yeah, yo, so it's so big, I be riding the best. Like, I ride all the niggas like this and they love it. And it's just like, calm down, fucking humble yourself, chill out. I am going to teach you a way that can kind of avoid all of that mess. And no one will leave feeling cheated and things like that. And this sort of method is really the only way that I sext. In sexting, you're supposed to kind of want to actually like masturbate or kind of get yourself off during the sex because it's that arousing and it's that hot. And I'm hoping that this can kind of help you guys get there. I've had sexting sessions where like, I'm just like, oh my god, I need to like masturbate right now. I have to really get myself off because it's so arousing. And for me, it's a bit different because I am into BDSM, so my sexting involves many details about many toys and fetishes and things like that. If you don't have a fetish, love yourself, get it together, get you a fetish, okay? Be weird in some way, get it together. So yeah, in this demonstration, I'm gonna be using the term daddy. So if you have an issue with that, bye. If you don't have an issue with that, then yay, congratulations, you get to stay. And yeah, I'm just gonna kind of take you guys through it and hopefully explain some things in the process. I know it just seems like you can kind of just put everything you want to do to the person in a text, and it's just like, that can leave someone feeling really underwhelmed, especially me as a creator. I love flirting, I love eroticism, I'm a submissive, so that means I kind of need like I need some power play. So within this sex that I'm about to share, there's gonna be power play because that's really kind of the only thing that arouses me. If you're in an equal partnership, meaning there's no power play, meaning there's no dominant or submissive, then things are different for you. But if you are subby like me, then yay. Okay, so I feel like I'm rambling, but I'm just so excited. All right, now let's get into it. All right, so what I'm going to share is a very short kind of sext, and it's what I like to call kind of teamwork sexting. And it's basically when you kind of send something and they send something back, and people think that's usually how it works, but usually, I mean, it can work in different ways. Sometimes you send them a message full blown and it's just like, all right, cool, that was hot, all right, move on with our lives. I personally like the kind of like work dynamic, like that's just me, like we kind of go back and forth and we kind of like set it up. I've been sexting men and they're just like, sweetie, how do you want this to end? And I'm just like, I get to pick how it ends. Like, so they kind of shape the story around how I want it to end, and that's amazing to me. Like, that's artistic to me. I really just get aroused by kind of creative things and people who really use their imaginations, and that's my thing. So hopefully this will help and you guys can find some sort of resonance. If you actually do this and it helps you, then like let me know, duh. Okay, so looks at daddy with big brown eyes, hoping it will lessen his anger. And I use the asterisk. I'm gonna like put it down there. I use the asterisk, so this asterisk symbolizes that you're actually doing the thing. So right now already we're in the moment. So you send the sex to someone and you're like in the moment, and it's just like, oh wait, it's going down. Wait, well, I'm mad at you. It's kind of like you're setting the scene. Like, you guys have all been to creative writing class, so you know, kind of like setting the scene and making like a plot and like where's the setting. So that's kind of the first thing that you send. So this is also, so I'm gonna be like, it's me. So this is me. I'm saying, unbuttons my pretty top to reveal my pink lace bra underneath. Keeping eye contact with daddy the entire time. Okay, so that's me, and I kind of send that off to him, right? And you're just kind of waiting for a response, but like I'm setting the scene, so he's mad at me for some reason. I mean, as a submissive, it's just like, that's nice, I do stuff all the time. So he's mad at me for some reason, and I'm really just kind of trying to seduce him. It's not kind of too forward and ridiculous and obnoxious. Like, it's kind of really like a seductive game at this point. So that's what I say, that's what I send. So he sends back, clenches jaw, and looks down at baby girl's beautiful breast. Now, the men you might be involved with might say titties, T-I-D-D-Ys, then that's your business, okay? Like, but this is generally what he sends back. So now there's kind of a dialogue. He knows that he's mad at you, so he's getting in position, like, okay, I'm mad at you, okay, cool. He kind of knows what's happening, so you send that off, and then he sends it back, and it's really kind of like, ooh, y'all about to get into some stuff. So then, I say, bites lip and pulls erect nipple out of bra, just enough to tease daddy. Licks middle finger and draws wet circles around my pretty brown areolas. So for me, I mean, I'm dramatic and I'm an artist, so that means I have to be creative and descriptive as possible. I actually put hella words and I'm just like, okay, I can't be as descriptive as I want to be. But that's kind of the general gist. So now the scene is set. He's kind of like looking down at you, and you're just like being really kind of like pouty, like you've done something wrong. And now it's really kind of like this can provoke different emotions other than just I'm sexually aroused. You're kind of really like as a dominant, he would be aroused by kind of like how submissive I am in this moment, and me being seductive and subtle with like my behavior, and kind of really like teasing him and making him want to kind of girl. And that's kind of where we're going with this. So he says, groans quietly as my cock begins to rise. I say, sees daddy's cock fighting to escape his jeans, pulls other nipple out and pinches a little. Okay, so this is funny having to explain this on camera. So it's kind of this back and forth, and it's not too obnoxious. It's not like it's kind of, you can really provoke emotions, and like this type of stuff makes me squirm. I'm just like, yes, like this is my thing. So you kind of like it's interactive, and that's kind of what I like about it. Like, be interactive with the person that you're sexting, and it's really interesting to see where the story can go, because he might say something that takes it to a whole other place, like, yeah, that's nice, go get the belt, or something like that. Like, I mean, if you're in a BDSM, you know that a belt does not mean like when your mama beats you. He's not your actual father beating you, calm down. Like, he might say go get the flogger, or go get the ball gag, like, go get the rope, like it's, and if he's not into BDSM, if you guys are pretty like equal partnership, no BDSM play, he might say, come here, like it's anywhere it can go, and it's arousing just to see that someone's kind of interacting with you in this way. That's what I particularly find arousing. Okay, so now I am going to kind of put it all together for you guys, and I'm gonna like voice over it and kind of like, I guess, do the facial expressions of how it would actually look if this was happening. Because what you want to do is you want to set the scene. You want to really play with the imagination. That's the point of sexting. That's the point of kind of reading books. It's really just like, take me there, and you take someone there with description and kind of, I guess, with enthusiasm. But you take someone there with your descriptions of what's happening. And I particularly, like, if you kind of want it to be like a fast sex, you can just be like, I don't know, you start like right when he about to take his pants off and stick it in. I don't really know, Defeat. But me, I'm kind of really like, I'm into seduction. I'm into kind of really like eroticism, letting it kind of play out a little bit. Like, that's me. That's just me. Okay. So, and as a submissive, I am very eager to get into the mind of a dominant and to kind of see how crazy he can be, I guess. And the story can go anywhere at this point, and that's kind of what you want to happen, right? So there's another method that I can kind of do a video on if this is helpful, if you guys like these types of videos, and that's kind of like the story method, where you just kind of take control and you like write a story. But there's a particular way in which you write the story. You don't want to brag or to kind of make it seem like you can do all these things that, and then when you have sex in person, it's weird. Like, it's like, that's really the biggest thing that's happening. People don't really have any finesse with it. It's really kind of like, I'm gonna just stick it in and I'll suck you, and it's like, okay, I guess I'd rather start, in a public place in which like I pretend to be fighting with you and I'm mean, and then we go home together and then I get punished. I don't know, like I prefer to make it a bit more whatever. Okay, so this is kind of bringing it all together, and it's gonna get weird, but I hope not too weird. So yeah.
Looks at daddy with big puppy eyes, hoping it will lessen his anger. Unbuttons pretty top to reveal my pink lace bra underneath, keeping eye contact with daddy the entire time. Clenches jaw and looks down at baby girl's beautiful breast. Bites lip and pull erect right nipple out of my bra, just enough to tease daddy. Licks middle finger and draws wet circles around my pretty brown areola. Groans quietly as my cock begins to rise. Sees daddy's cock fighting to escape his jeans, pulls out other nipple and pinches a little.
Okay. When I edit this, it's gonna be fun. I hope it was not too weird, but I just kind of wanted to take you guys through the actual kind of full setup, and it's very short, and it's just kind of like an introduction to the sexting that you're doing, and yeah. So I hope that was not as weird as I felt it was, and I hope that this was somehow helpful. You can kind of go off, my little hoes, into the world and sex your lives away. And if you need any help, or if you, I'm not gonna sex for you, that's no. But if you have any questions, then come to me, your fairy hoe godmother, and I am here to help and answer your questions. And this whole series is gonna be me kind of talking about Tinder and internet dating and all these things, and yeah. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this was useful in some sort of way. I hope that I've given you some sort of kind of extra perspective on sexting, and you can try this new method. Maybe you do it already. I mean, I don't know, but I do hope that it was helpful. This is Black Girl Thought TV. I am Annie Kens, your fairy hoe godmother. And as always, I am delighted to be on your screen. I am tremendously honored that you would pick my video to watch. And I'll see you guys in the next one.